What's up, everybody? It's your man right here, the Soapbox. Just trying to see what's up with you guys out there in the internet land, and I want to do a video talking about. I'm going to talk about. I'm going to talk to my ladies, the ladies out there, the ladies. If you are not married, it's your own fault. Okay? It's your own fault. And I know I'm a guy who's a MGTOW. Men going their own way. And a lot of times as men, we think all the men are like us as MGTOW. We think, we don't. If you're even, let's say you're a red pill guy who's aware, you might not be MGTOW, but you might be red pill. You're not going to date single mothers. You're not going to date women who got a lot, who are overweight, or who are over a certain age, or who are got bad attitudes. Or you're not going to go for any of that stuff. If you got any kind of red pill awareness. If you understand what you're worth, you're not messing with those kind of women. But most guys are not that. Most guys, if you're going to say, they're going to fall in the realm. MGTOW is, let's say, the extreme. The guy that's not going to get married to anybody. And then there's some guys, they're not, they're monk, they don't have sex or they don't date. And there's guys who date, but they're not going to get married. Then there's these guys, who are players, and there are guys who are, they're red pill, but they like to get married, but they just, more likely not. They just know too much. But most men are on the simpy side of the game. They're on the simpy side of the game. And the reason why I say that, and that's what I just said before, the reason why a lot of women are not going to get married, because it's going to be their fault. Because women, even though men ask in marriage, now the men are the ones who ask. They are the ones who ask. But the women are not even put themselves in a position to get asked. See, a lot of these women, they don't want to date certain kinds of men. If they're a 4, and they don't want to date a 4, they don't even want to date a 5. They really don't even want to date a 6. They want to date like a 7, 8, maybe an 8, even though they're a 4. They want to date way higher than themselves. If they're a fat lady, out of shape, they want a guy who's in shape, not fat like them. If they have kids, they want a guy who doesn't have kids, or maybe not as many kids as they got. If they are poor, they want a guy who's rich. Whatever it is, they're looking to go up. That's the nature of women. Okay, that's the way they operate. But sometimes they have too much hypergamy, way too much for what they're worth, and that's why a lot of them are going to be single. That's why a lot of you ladies out there are going to be single, because your standards are way too high. If you're let's say you're 33 and you don't have any kids, but you're not very, very attractive, you might have to go with guys who are, you might as well forget about trying to get those super lawyers or doctors or engineers or entrepreneurs. You might just need to settle for a guy who's got a good job, who's working. You want a guy who's tall, who's a professional, or got his own business, or doesn't have any kids, handsome, charismatic, well-traveled. You want him to be everything. And it's like those dudes are super rare. They're rare. And that's why you price yourself out of the market. When you could get a guy, let's say if you're 33, you don't have any kids, or let's say if you had kids, you might have to deal with a guy that has one kid. Okay, you might have to settle for that. You might have to go for a guy who has a kid. Maybe he doesn't have two, but he's got one. You're just going to have to deal with that, You just can't have everything. But these women, they want it all. And they can't have it all. And they're not going to get it all. It ain't possible. It ain't probable. So, that's why a lot of women are going to be unhappy. They're not going to get married because their standards are too high. It's not because of MGTOW. It ain't because of that. Even though I think a lot of guys are kind of frustrated and put up with it, Because a lot of guys, because they're looking for these guys who are kind of high value. And they're not, and I will say that higher value guys are not just getting in there and just throwing their hat in the ring. They're not doing it. And they're not. But these simps are, and some of these women, that's who they need to get with. Some of these dudes that are simpy, But that doesn't turn them on. Alright, so this your man right here, the soapbox. Tell me what you guys think. God willing, catch you guys in the future.